correspondence here. I'd like to welcome you to the Board of Public Works and Safety meeting for September 30th in the year 2021. Roll call, please.
Mr. Margaret.
Here.
Mr. Lund.
Here.
Mr. Perez.
Here. Any conflict of interest statements of the board? No, sir. Loud enough?
No.
Have a jiggle. Item number 4, approval of minutes of the meeting of September 23rd, 2021.
Did you look at those?
Yeah, we're good.
I make a motion to approve those minutes.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item 5, bid openings, there are none. Item 6, matters from department heads and/or their representatives.
Good morning to the board. Hi.
Morning.
I have for the board today an agreement with the Northern Indiana Public Service Company. It is for the installation of a replacement pole for the Little Calumet River Trail pedestrian bridge over Calumet Avenue. It is in the amount of about $133,000. The project is necessary in order to affect the relocation of NIPSCO and to avoid any sort of impediments along the bike trail that is part of that project, because the existing pole has guy wires that hold the pole in place, and those guys can't be placed that closely to our trail. So we have negotiated with NIPSCO this agreement. This is part of the American Recovery, or I should say Rescue Plan.
ARP?
ARP, yeah. And that appropriation for this project, the bridge project, and a number of other projects were approved by the Common Council of Hammond on Monday. So there is a new process for which funding allocations are prepared. I would just let you know that the mayor and the city controller, who are required to sign off on the action, has been done. That does not require Board of Public Works and Safety approval. And I would also say that because it's a utility agreement, we don't have signatures from the utility. It is a standard agreement from them, and they would ask that we sign the agreement first, and then they will sign it. We need this project to start as soon as possible because NIPSCO is scheduling the pole installation sometime in June, and we want to bid the project and have the work done before we set the bridge structure.
So how does this involve this board, Dean? Or it doesn't?
The agreement is between the
agreement.
Board of Public Works and Safety
Okay.
and NIPSCO.
Got it.
That's how it involves us.
The only thing I would mention to board, good morning.
Good morning.
Is that when you hear the term pink sheet, that's going to be American Rescue Plan dollars.
Yeah.
That Dean should have in his possession, showing, if you want to, of course, the board's welcome to see those, so that you see that both the mayor, and maybe Dean in the future will get copies from the board so they know that the signatures are on there. So that then you know that that both Megan and the mayor, the controller and the mayor have both signed off on them, and you feel comfortable with the contract.
So what I showed you is that there's one for NIPSCO, and then there's one for a future action that's on the agenda today regarding Holman Avenue Phase 1, additional engineering services. I'm going to need those back
Right,
from you.
understood? Yeah.
Okay, so we're not approving the agreement with NIPSCO. It's just acknowledging it, right?
We're approving it.
We are approving it.
Yes.
Okay.
This.
Gotcha.
That's in
Contract. Okay.
Chief Long, that's the reason for showing the pink sheet.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Then I will make a motion to approve the agreement with NIPSCO.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Contract, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's fine. No, it's agreement right there, baby. Anything further, Mr. Button, as a department head? Yeah. All right. All right, moving right along. Item 7, correspondence. Item A, Correspondence received from 5th District Councilman Dave Warple requesting $55,000 of gaming funds be allocated for resurfacing of Waveland from 169th Street to 167th Street, submitted for approval. The councilman's request has been approved by himself, the mayor, as well as the city controller.
Make a motion to approve Councilman Werpel's request.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item B, amendment number 2 with American Structure Point for the Holman Avenue reconstruction Phase 1 design in the amount of $27,440, which includes right-of-way services and traffic design for the signal at Sibley and Holman, submitted for approval. Funds for the project are from the American Rescue Plan, submitted for approval.
So this was the other sheet that I showed you just a few minutes ago. This is a amendment to American Structure Point's contract for Holman Avenue Phase 1 between Sibley and Russell Street. As part of the realignment of Rimbach, we need to do some right-of-way services, and there is some right-of-way encroachment on Holman into property owned by the city, so that needs to be cleared up so that we don't have a right-of-way features on a parcel that could eventually become a private property. So there's that action. And then during the course of design, the city has asked American Structure Point to include renovations to the existing traffic signal at Sibley and Holman in light of the new downtown and the approach and the look that we would like to do. So we're improving that, and that signal design is also included. There's some programming concept phasing for that signal that's going to be included in this project. And so the agreement is funded by the American Rescue Plan, and I am asking for your approval in this action.
Okay, I will make a motion to approve the amendment number 2 with American Structure Point.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item C, correspondence received from Chief of Police William Short requesting approval for the resignation of Hammond Police Officer Jonathan Woods, effective the closing date of September 11, 2021, advising of a paid administrative personal issue, and the resignation of Correctional Officer Elijah Freeman, effective the closing date of September 28, 2021, submitted for approval.
Make a motion to approve Chief Short's request.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item D, correspondence received from Chief of Police William Short requesting approval of the Departmental General Order number 21-04, referencing emergency vehicle response operations and pursuit police.
See, yeah. I will make a motion to approve Chief Short's request.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Pursuit police policy. Okay,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Chief Long, was that was the email?
Yes.
Okay, and you guys are good with it?
Yeah, she made some corrections, we made some corrections, we're good now.
Hello?
Yes. Yep, yeah,
Did you?
yes,
Okay.
yes. We're all, yep, we all met a couple days ago with her, went over everything, so we're good, yes. Oh, sorry.
No, it's
sorry
okay.
about
I
that,
just
yeah.
wanted to make sure. That is now in effect as of?
As of today, yeah, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Item E, correspondence received from 3rd District Councilman Barry Tyler Jr. requesting the following. Several representatives from Hammond Central and the school city of Hammond, including Trustee Carlotta Blake King, Principal Dave Verda, and Superintendent Scott Miller, have approached me, Councilman Tyler, regarding a need for some student crossing signage and maybe lights along Highland Avenue because students are in constant danger during pickup and drop-off times due to traffic. They are requesting something similar to what Munster High School has along Columbia Avenue. Second bullet point is residents in the 5900 block of Hyslop are requesting that their driveways be marked with yellow paint to stop cars from blocking their availability to get in and out. Residents in the 5900 block of Park Place are requesting residential-only parking because guest visitors of the apartment buildings on that block are taking up all the parking on the street. Residents in the 12 and 1300 blocks of Field Street are requesting no dumping signs to be placed in the empty field on the south side of the street because there have been several incidents of garbage being dumped recently. The 5800 block of Erie Avenue, with the construction of the new school and lack of parking, students are taking up residential parking spaces, so they are asking for residential-only parking signs as well. That is all. We'll take one at a time, I suppose. The school city request, I mean,
So I would ask that that subject regarding the Highland Street lights and signs be referred to engineering. I'm not entirely clear on what specifically they're looking for, so we really need to have a meeting with the councilman and the school city.
If it's anything like, they reference what's up at Munster High School, I can tell you, if you go down Columbia Avenue near the football, between the football stadium and Munster High School, there's canopies across the street with flashing yellow on a sign, as well as those, they put them actually on the double yellow that says yield, state law, yield for pedestrians. That's what they have.
And that's what they would like to see
Well,
here.
Says something similar to what Munster High School has in Columbia.
Okay.
Some similar.
So my suggestion is we need to have a meeting with the school city, the councilman, and the engineering department to try to resolve what that is. And it's likely that some funding will be needed for the project, a nominal amount of funding, whether that comes from the councilman or capital improvements board or whatever is best. Or thank you, or as advised, the school city in order to, but I'm still not clear on what's being asked, right?
Okay.
I know that, there's the Munster situation and they have some areas with decorative asphalt and it doesn't sound like that's what they would be seeking. But we need a clear vision of what they're asking before we start to roll something out. So if you could refer that to engineering, I'll try to make accommodations. I do have a meeting with Councilman Tyler tomorrow to discuss other items, and I'll bring this up.
okay. Can you stick? We just want to get your input on the next 3 or 4 bullet points here, because they're going to involve you probably somehow.
Sure.
5900 block of High Slop, they're requesting their driveways be marked with yellow paint. I know, obviously, they want their entry points to 2 feet, 3 feet on either side. I'm sure that's what they're asking, even though that's not what they asked.
Mr. President, I think the 2 and 3 bullets could be taken together, because I believe that those both have to do with the new apartment building there on High Slop, and the parking lot to the rear, which is on Park Place. So maybe those both could be looked at in conjunction with each other. I think they're probably complaining about, and they put those 27 units in on the corner.
Oh, yeah, that is what they're complaining about, from the alley going south on Park Place, yes.
Yeah, Park Place has been a problem for a while, even before this, so I do know that for sure.
So in regards to yellow paint, is it
No
available?
objection.
It's not
I would-
available?
Well, it would be referred to the
Public Works,
Public
right?
Works Department if they
Okay.
have the paint available. I know the issue, I believe it was on Marshall Street, had been resolved by
Yes.
Public Works.
Yes.
And that,
Okay.
I would just refer to them because Mr.
Okay.
Gonzalez there is more than capable of handling painting if paint's available.
I mean, I drove Park Place yesterday, 5900 block. I don't see an issue putting signs up, residential-only parking, I don't.
No objection. I'd refer
I
that
don't.
to
Jeff?
Public Works as well.
I just don't know
as
how we're
well
going to be
as,
able to figure out who's residents and who's not and enforce it.
Right.
To me, it's an enforcement issue.
Yes.
And
Right.
whether or
No,
not
I agree.
it works, they do temporary or permanent, or get into this whole issue that we're going to bring up to the council about referring matters like this to allow the authority of the Board of Works to do stuff like
Right,
this.
right.
Does the controller's office give out stickers, or does the police department give out stickers for residential? Who does?
The police department does. We have them.
Oh, for
Yes.
parking?
Yes,
Oh,
resident-only parking. We do it for the fest, for the people in the neighborhoods. We do it, we give
Is
out.
it like a code, like for residential only, and this is like?
Yeah, it's like an orange, it's like, I think it's orange, an orange sticker. It might be
like
green.
window?
Yeah, it goes in the window, yeah.
And does it have a code, so like, for example?
Yes,
You're in Chicago, you're like, oh, you're in zone 87.
Yes. It has an ordinance number on there, I believe. I haven't seen one for a while.
Because like, for what I guess what I'm saying is like, if I live in the 5900 block of Park Place, right? And I'm in like zone 98, right? And then but then I want to go up to my buddy's house in Robertsdale, but I'm not a resident there, leave my car there, but that's zone like 64. Will the police officer be able to say like, oh, you're not in your right zone, you only get to?
No, it doesn't do that.
Okay.
No. So they have to come in with ID showing they live at this address to be issued a parking permit, and then we enforce it if we don't see it. So each person would have to come in on their own to get one. We wouldn't just hand them out to
And
them.
I'm just wondering if we have to do it by ordinance or not.
I don't know.
Okay.
For sure.
So maybe we can refer, where does it usually go to the police?
Yes.
For this, okay, so refer to the police department and then also to the law department to figure out whether we need an ordinance or not.
Okay.
So this is, we're talking Park Place, right? What about, is there another one or no? Oh, the other one's paint.
Yeah, just Park Place, yeah.
Okay. So, so have we motioned with, high slop yet with the paint?
No, are we gonna go through them all and then do them one at a time, or just do them one at a time? as we
Let's do them
go
one at a
along?
time.
As we
Let's
go
do them one
along?
at a time,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Let's do high slop.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna, which one should we do?
High slop's going to Public Works along with,
Highland?
5800 Block Erie Avenue and, Field Street. Those are all going to Public Works.
Well, Highlands, so we gotta do the first one's Highland Street. That was for
Engineering's going to
engineering.
Mr. Button.
Okay, so I'll refer that one first.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna make recommendations as we go along, okay? I'm gonna make a motion first on the Highland Street issue. I'm gonna refer that to engineering for their review and recommendation. That's my
I
motion.
second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Second, for the 5900 block of High Slop, I'm gonna refer that to Public Works for their review and recommendation.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
For 5900 block of Park Place, I'm gonna make a motion to refer that to the Police Department and Law Department to see if we have to have an ordinance established.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The 12 and 1300 blocks of Field Street, requesting no dumping signs. Johnny, any comment on that?
No, I believe
mean,
we can work with
I
them.
don't think it's a big deal to,
I don't think so either.
all right, so we'll.
Refer to the street, or Public Works Department.
Yeah,
Right,
Public Works.
right.
Okay, in reference to 12 and 1300 blocks of fields, I'm gonna recommend, or make a motion that we forward that to Public Works.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. On the Erie Street, what is that? That's going to PD and Law too, probably. That's a parking issue as well, residential parking issue as well.
Yeah, we met with the Boys and Girls Club, though. That might be a temporary problem. I mean, it's supposed to be done in November, right? That's what they're shooting for?
Yeah, you talking about the parking lot?
Yes.
Yeah, I think the big parking lot for the high school is supposed to be done by the close of the construction season, we hope. And if it is, I think that'll alleviate the issues.
Over here.
Because if you remember when we were talking about that project, there
Yep,
was
yep.
a gentleman that came.
It was.
Right in the corner,
Yes, okay.
said he was having trouble already.
Yeah, we met with them last week about this issue, and they're pretty certain they're gonna be done in November with the parking lot. Now, there's no guarantees, of course, but that's what they told us. So is it a temporary
I think
thing?
it's temporary. I think it's like a temporary, the board work will put up just temporary signs, and then we'll just have to make a note that we'll pull them down like November 30, right?
As soon as the parking lot's done?
60 days from the day.
Okay. Then
Okay.
refer that to Public Works then for temporary signage? Okay,
Okay.
And just a note that they should pull them down.
okay. In reference to 5800 block of area, I will make a motion that we forward that to Public Works for temporary signage and make sure that they note to take them down after 60 days.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And that concludes item E. Thank you, Mr. Button.
Thank you.
Oh, this one might involve you as well. Item F, correspondence received from Hammond Common Council requesting a traffic study at the east end of 100 block of Doty to see if change is warranted as per ordinance 21-35.
So we believe that this is a proposed ordinance that was presented to the Hammond Common Council, the meeting before last, at a segment where the rules were suspended in order to bring this out. This is quite similar to what is happening on William Street near just Serendipity, where the first I'm sorry, Councilman, would you like to go ahead? Okay. Thank you. Where the first 1/4 block is two-way traffic to the alley, and then as one-way, it's actually on Williams, it's one-way eastbound, right? And that accommodates the business there at the corner for truck deliveries and pickups. So similarly, the business owner who purchased the property at the southwest corner of Doty and Holman has asked that same condition to be applied. As you know, Doty is one-way westbound, and if this were not approved, all of the exiting traffic onto Doty would be required to go through the neighborhood. So engineering is generally in support of it. It was requested, though, that a traffic study be done by Public Works, primarily to make sure that the residents were not affected or at least positively affected by the change, and that the appropriate striping, pavement markings, and signage were applied to this location so that everyone knew that it's changing, that segment's changing from one-way to two-way, and I defer to the council.
So what's the traffic study going to show us?
Do you want to?
I was just going to say, maybe we're not necessarily, when I think of traffic study, I think like, okay, how many cars, they put the thing down, they look at it. I think if I could interpret what the mayor wanted to know was, is police okay with it? Is the fire department okay with it? Is Public Works okay with it? Is the engineering department okay with it? Before it came out of the council, and I think Councilman Torres mentioned that on the floor even Monday. We just want to make sure that the executive departments of the city see this before it just gets run through the council. So I don't know, Dean, if that is your interpretation of what the mayor wanted, or if you believe that it really needs a traffic study.
So a traffic study in engineering terms is not needed. What is needed is a general review of the area and to make sure that the residents and the city departments are not adversely affected by the change.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It's no different to Williams.
So I would just like refer the request,
Okay.
take a look at that 50-foot intersection, 150-foot stretch of Doty, and what needs to be done. Like, I'm sure there's going to be a double yellow line that needs to be painted, stuff like that. So just refer it to fire, police, Public Works, engineering.
Engineering's okay with it.
Okay.
And I'm happy.
Is there, are we under any time constraints
I
there?
believe Councilman Torres would like to see it come out at the next meeting, which would be October
7th,
11th,
next week?
12th, October 12th.
Oh, his next meeting?
Yeah.
Okay.
So as long as we can have something back to the mayor's office by October, 8th or 9th,
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
saying that everybody's good with it, then, or not
Okay.
good with it, then that'll help.
Okay.
And then I guess some plan for letting residents know on that block. I don't know how we're going to do that, but there's going to be a change. We need to probably coordinate that. Yeah, okay.
All right.
You mean after it happens, if it happens, correct?
Or yeah.
Before?
Prior to.
Okay, I got you, okay.
So we need to make sure that the residents are aware of what's being done and that they're understanding. And really, it does benefit the residents in the long run. It just, if it didn't change, it would make their lives much more difficult because all of the
Sure.
business traffic would be forced westbound in front of all their houses.
This came about because of a zoning change, or a zoning petition where there's that new business there. It's a car body shop or car repair?
On the corner?
On the
Right.
corner, yep. So that's kind of what precipitated this
Okay.
needed, because the business needs two-way access there, up to the alley.
Got it?
Okay, then I'm going to make a motion to forward this to police, fire, Public Works, and engineering for their review and recommendation.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Did you request like a written response back?
Okay, as part of my motion, I'm sorry, I'll go back. Part of my motion is to forward their findings to the law department as soon as
I
possible.
second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Item G. Item G, correspondence received from NIFSCO requesting single-lane closures on 174th Street from Columbia Avenue to Tapper Avenue on an as-needed basis for public safety from October 6, 2021 through October 13, 2021, from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., submitted for approval. Mr. Gordon.
Good morning.
Morning.
Basically, this was approved back in July 15th for the Woodmar upgrade for electrical. And this particular area is a narrow street, so they think they can do it with just a flag person, but just in case if they have to shut down a portion of it for a pole being set, just for the safety of the people, that's all. And it'll be open back up after 2 o'clock.
And again, we're just talking one lane of the two-lane roadway, right?
They're going to
Hopefully.
try to do it, but if they need to shut down, they have the ability to shut it down for the safety of the residents.
Okay.
Basically to set the pole so there's not any kind of issues to stop the traffic.
We had a tamper.
So
Okay.
I would recommend it being approved.
Okay. I'll make a motion then to approve NIPSCO's request.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I mean, that would be our filial responsibility to the kids, certainly in the area, right?
100%. Okay. She didn't.
Item H, correspondence received from resident Derek Durr requesting permission to hold a block party on the 1,000 block of Tapper Avenue between Eaton and Drackard on October 9th, 2021, from 3 p.m. until 10 p.m., with all neighbors being a part of the party. I don't know that to be true, but
Because Gary stated September 24 by Civic Center, they don't deliver tables. They-
he's not asking for anything. I
Okay,
mean,
he's
in
not
his
asking for
request. Was there any conversation with him about that at all? Oh, he just sent the letter, that, okay. That's it? Okay, just wants some barricades, sounds like.
Just barricades?
That's what it sounds like.
Okay.
Okay,
You're good with it then? Okay. I will make a motion then to approve Mr. Durr's request and forward it to Public Works for barricades.
I second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Whew. Item I, correspondence received from Steve Grimm, Hast School, requesting permission to use the parking lot at 5210 Holman Avenue on Monday, November 15th, 2021, from 2 p.m. until approximately 5 p.m. for a food bank drop. 5210, is that the, the one across, the big one, right?
The big lot, yeah.
Any issues with that, Mr. Smith, at all? No, sir. Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve Mr. Grimm's request.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Matters from board members. Ms. Perez?
Nothing, sir. And
Mr. Long?
No, sir.
Okay. New business, item A, contract for demolition services with JM Industrial Services, Inc. for the demolition of the following properties: 2128 Atchison Avenue, 830 Becker Avenue, or Becker Street, 7044 Columbia, 4749 Hickory, 2314 Indianapolis, 2920 Janet Place, garage only, 630 Sibley, and 409 Vine Street, submitted for approval. Agreement's been signed by Chief of Inspections, Mr. Kearney, as well as the business owner.
Yeah, these are all properties that came out for bid approval for works.
Okay.
And have a demolition order on.
Got it. Here we go.
Okay, I will then make a motion to approve the contract for those demolitions.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item B, first extension of agreement to rehabilitate property located at 222-24 Conkey Street, submitted for approval.
Yes, Mr. President, this is simply an extension of a rehab agreement we would request. The work's progressing, we request this approval.
Okay.
Make a motion then to approve the first extension for the property located at 222-24 Conkey.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item C, Robertsdale Access Agreement for 1334 Lakeview Avenue, submitted for approval. I mean, this is with the lead remediation, correct?
Regular. There were some additional property accesses that were needed.
All right.
Purely to get to the other parcels, right? So it was the recommendation of the environmental consultant to do this, and we accepted their recommendation.
Okay, make
Okay.
a motion to approve the access agreement for 1334 Lakeview.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item D, order to rescind and release order to demolish regarding property located at 5955 Wallace Road Front, submitted for approval.
Yes, we would request this, the work on that property has been completed. We request that it be signed as presented. Indeed.
Okay.
Okay, I then make a motion to rescind the demolish order for 5955 Wallace Road.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item E, warranty deeds regarding 4926 Holman Avenue and 232 Brunswick Street, submitted for approval.
So the agenda item's incorrect. I'd like to make sure that it's accurate. Specifically, the deed regarding, sorry, I just got to make sure I get this right. The deed regarding 4926 Holman, I believe, has been pulled, right, Linda? Okay, so that's no longer on there. And the deed that you do have actually concerns not just 232 Brunswick, but it also concerns 252 Marble Street, 4634-4640 Sheffield Avenue, and 217 Hanover Street.
Can you, Mr. Smith, can you, I have the Marble and Hanover address, can you give me the other one?
Yes, 232 Brunswick, which is already on the agenda.
No, there was another one.
Yes, 232 Brunswick. The second one I mentioned was 252 Marble Street.
Okay,
And actually, it's actually property between these two addresses, 252 Marble Street and 4634-4640 Sheffield. There's just some open land there.
gotcha, okay,
And then the last one was 217 Hanover.
okay, that's the one I didn't have. And we're good to approve those warranty deeds?
It's actually just one deed.
Just one
With
deed
all,
for
with all three of those.
Okay, okay. And I will make a motion to approve the warranty deed for 252 Marble, 232 Brunswick, 217 Hanover, and 4634 through 40 Sheffield.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item F, notice to owners of affected property at 6550 Columbia Avenue, submitted for approval. This kind of just probably acknowledgement, Kevin?
Yes, that's for zoning. Again.
Right.
Yes, that's just acknowledgement.
Okay. We acknowledge, and it's, okay. Oh, here we go. Item G, disposal authorization submitted by the Hammond Police Department.
I like those guys a lot.
I do too. You're next. Not yet.
Make a motion to approve the disposal authorizations.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item H, garage sale permit submitted for approval.
Mr. President.
Good to go.
Yes.
Make a motion to approve the garage sale permits.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Old business, item A, notice of violation hearing on property located at 2345 New York Avenue.
Morning, Board. I have spoken with the owner of the property. He agreed to sign a deed restriction for the property. All we need to do is just get it submitted for documentation with the state. So do I give this to
And what's the deed restriction going to cover? Okay.
So are we just acknowledging this?
No, we're approving.
Approving the agreement?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, then I will make a motion to approve the agreement for 2345 New York Avenue.
And to sign the permanent restriction.
And it's, okay.
Do we need to sign that? Do we need to sign this? No, this is done.
Go ahead.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. Did you motion or no?
Motion, yeah.
I second.
All those in favor of the deed restriction?
Aye?
Aye. Item B, notice of violation hearing on property located at 1704 Atchison Avenue. I'll take this one.
We inspected the property in August of 2021, and property contains multiple violations in each unit. Currently constructed as a 4-unit complex, but upon permit research determined that the property was built as originally as a 2-unit property. Therefore, the second floor rear and first floor rear apartments were deemed illegal and will submit for removal.
And the owner is in agreement with?
I thought the owner was going to be here today. They were sent notice. I told her over the phone that there was going to be a hearing, so.
They have been properly notified. They contend that they purchased the building recently, I think in the last
4 years.
like 4 years. I had dealings with the prior owner to their ownership. However, I was unable to establish access to the entire building. So multiple complaints from tenants. So we were able to get through I was able to get through the first floor apartments and establish that, as a 4-unit apartment building, it's required to meet the International Building Code requirements, which are a little more stringent than your IRC, which is residential. So we found that there was main structural supports that were required to be non-combustible material, which ended up being wood supports. So there's no off-street parking or other requirements that would have had to been implemented if it was permitted for that type of occupancy. So Kelly and Chris effected a completed inspection to gain access to the remaining second floor units, and established again that they failed to meet the fire separation requirements as well as the International Building Code requirements that would have been put in place. So we're asking the board to affirm the order to remove the 2 units and convert the property back to a 2-unit with 1 on the main floor and 1 unit on the second floor entirely.
Any questions, Jeff?
No.
Johnny?
No, sir.
Okay. Then we'll make a motion to affirm the order of violation for 1704 Atchison Avenue.
I second.
All together.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You need
Thank
this
you.
back?
Just the signed front.
Oh,
So you get to
okay.
Linda, she'll get you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Leave that out. Gotta get that back. Item C, rehearing requested on rental registrations properties for the following: 3320 175th, 6374 Maryland, 3316 155th Street, 3805 173rd, 6433 Ohio, 1324 170th, 236 173rd Street, 3249 163rd Street, 3324 175th Street, 3642 173rd Street, 3303 Kenwood, 6743 Missouri, and 7413 Marshall.
Yeah, we didn't have it down as the management company she had, so we may have to set that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, one, I'm sure we can address it. Sorry, board. There was also, she's informed me that they are also charged with the management of the 6011 Columbia. So that was the one on the corner there that had multiple units and the different addresses. So it's 6005, 6007, 6009, and 6011 Columbia, which also appeared on the 8/26 agenda.
Yeah, but it was only under one address, right?
Yeah. Lake County recognizes it as a single address. And owner, we weren't notified of their management of that property this time. However, it was the same result. I have the documentation from the previous meeting. If you'd like, after we deal with these, I will grab that if you want to add it since she's here. If you want to just introduce yourself to.
I'm Victoria Perryman, and with these properties, I was told I needed to fill out an affidavit even if there wasn't a renter in there. So when I went to register, once we had new leases, I was told that I needed to come to the board to get permission to do so, since by the 15th it wasn't registered with the affidavit of whether it's not being used as a rental, vacant, or sold.
So is that the issue, Nick, with all of these properties?
So they're basically in two batches. There's two separate owners, so
Yeah.
I'm separated between the two owners. Blueprint Capital Investment manages the properties for both property investors. Our contention is, understandably, that they may have taken over management as of 2020. They registered it last year and then missed this year for the registration. However, 4 of the 5 properties for the first owner owed like 4 years of rental registrations, so which would have been prior to their management. However, the owner is still responsible for those fees that would have been imposed. So those 4 property addresses were referred to Smith-Sursick for collections, since, the board, we typically deal with anything from 1 to 2 years of late fees. And then, so that would have been 3316 175th Street, 3805 173rd Place,
Right.
3320 175th, and 6374 Maryland would have been referred to Smith-Sursick for collections of owing multiple years.
Right.
6433 Ohio only owed for 2021, and the board previously waived the late fee for that property address on 8/26/21. However, since we are 30 days past the allotted time frame to pay that, technically it would be reinstated.
paid.
You did pay
Yeah.
and register this one?
Yeah.
Okay, well then in that case.
That was-
That's 6433, right?
6433 Ohio. So that,
That was-
Okay.
I can verify that was paid then and registered.
Okay.
Okay, so that one should be good. The other 4 would have been sent to Smith-Sursick for collections or negotiation.
No, those are all the ones that were
That was,
hit with the late fee, right?
correct, well,
Right?
no, these were referred to Smith-Sursick. Due to the multiple years
Okay.
of owing, those 4 properties were
Right.
sent to Smith-Sursick, and the one late fee was waived for the first batch for the owner
Right.
of that property.
Okay, so this is the second batch then.
Correct, the next ones, those were the ones that were the single-family homes that had, the 1 year owed and the late fee imposed. So I have,
Blueprint management, not capital investments, but blueprint management, right?
Yeah, for the 2021, I'm not sure about the 2000
Right.
thing,
Yeah.
but the 2021, we had,
Right. Right.
I have new decisions for taking.
I mean, we got a whole stack of them here for blueprint
There's a
management.
stack, yeah.
7 properties, I think it is.
Okay.
So we have new tenants that I was trying to register back in July, but at that time, prior to April 15th, they weren't being rented. Now, I can't attest to the 2016, I can only do from 2020 up until now. So for,
Waive the fees, is that what the idea is?
and I have those leases.
Well, I think you're coming back to us today because you're asking us, in essence, to waive the late fees for these 7
For
properties,
2000
correct?
Right, for
And we're trying to
2021.
understand how we got to the point where they became late.
So they weren't they were vacant at the time.
All these homes were
Those-
all vacant.
Right, so, no. So we have 6005 well, that's not even up, but the 6005 Columbia.
Well,
that
let me
was
tell you the ones that I
transferred to-
have right here
Okay.
that all have a late fee attached to them. 1324 170th Street,
13, I have, that one was prepping for sale.
2736 173rd Street,
That's on the market, vacant.
3249 163rd
That's spring
Street,
pep for sale, unloaded,
3324 175th
prepping for sale,
Street, 3642 173rd Street,
prepping for sale,
3303 Kenwood,
prepping for sale,
and 6743 Missouri,
prepping for sale.
and lastly, 7413 Marshall.
That was prepped for sale and sold. That was sold, yeah.
So do we need affidavits that they weren't occupied at the time? Is that what we need?
Well, we'd have to confirm, because number one, 7/28 of 21, there was a stop recorder posted for interior work being done without permits
And
at
that- yeah.
2736 173rd. I recall at the beginning of the year, there was a property address that I had a complaint about a furnace not functioning, and then we, had to coordinate with her to get a contractor out there to get the furnace. There was a part they were waiting on, so there was a tenant there complaining. So if the board would see fit, I can contact the water department and verify consumption of the properties. If there's zero consumption for the time frame in which she's claiming, then I have no problem, having her fill out an affidavit to account for the vacancy. However, we'd just like to remind her that January 1st to April 15th is the time frame in which documentation needs to be submitted in order to, have the exemptions filed.
So we're not going to stumble on a decision with these today, it appears.
I would request the board set it over for a week or two, potentially, depending on her convenience. I'll call water and get it, everything accounted.
Well, let's go 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, we have to, because I mean, right now, it's not, I don't know what we
October
need
14th.
exactly.
Can we, is 2 weeks for us to kind of fine tune exactly
Yeah, and then what
what's
about,
being asked?
that's fine.
October 14th?
We can set the Columbia property as well for that date. That way, we can ensure, now that we know that her company is also managing that location,
Yeah.
we can revisit that one as well.
Yep.
So for everything,
So I have,
status for the 14th,
I have I have these two.
Maryland went to Smith Cersei.
So you'll deal with them for those
That one's off.
addresses, and you already registered the board.
There's 2 more here.
Right, for that owner.
360,
Right.
175th, that one's off.
That only owes the one.
But this one,
And 173rd place, 3805, that one's off.
I
And
have
that will leave us with the rest.
new leads,
That one was waived, so that'll
3360.
be 1, 2, 3, 4,
Unfortunately, that wasn't on the agenda.
5, 6. Yep,
Yeah, it should be.
so that's where we're at. Yep, plus Columbia.
plus, okay, so which ones are they again?
1324, 170th, all the way to the end. All of these, all the way to the end.
Starting at 1324 170.
Yeah.
So I'm making a motion for all those
Mhm.
for status, okay.
Yep.
So you also represent Lakeside Realty Group?
Yeah.
Okay, are we good, Nick?
There's 3 additional,
Well, two.
3316 175th, 3805 173rd Place, which is owned by Lakeside Realty Group, which was.
Yeah,
on
but
the previous-
I thought you stated these went to Smith Cersei already.
Those,
So there was four out of the initial 5 properties went to Smith Cersei.
The first 4 on the agenda,
Yep. And then excluding 64.
33 Ohio, that was waived.
So those 4 done. And then these last set, in addition to Columbia, 6011 Columbia, which were on the previous agenda, those need to be reset so we can address those.
Okay. Yep.
Everything's covered?
I mean, I think so. We're going to start with 1324 170th, and all those properties, including 6011 Columbia, are going to be set for status for October 14th.
That
Correct.
one
Okay.
is-
Do I need to give the addresses? Do I need to break it
No,
down?
I'm good.
If you could do me a favor,
Okay.
just attach your management agreement.
Then I'm going
for the
to-
Properties with whatever documentation you submit, that would be good.
Okay,
You good?
Yep.
yeah.
Okay, I'm going to make a motion to set this over to October 14th, 2021 for status on the properties that were listed to include 6011 Columbia Avenue.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Item D, correspondence received from Humberto Prado requesting a follow-up meeting for clarification regarding his barricade request. We'll set it for next week, October 7th.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to make a motion to set Mr. Prado's request over to next week's meeting, October 7th, 2021.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting's open to the public. Anybody here care to speak? You're ready.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Gentlemen. I'm here to request, with the Hammond Historical Society, we're having an event this Sunday at Oak Hill Cemetery. I see my minions have posted some notices already on City Hall. I'm asking, and I talked to Donnie, if we could have civil or emergency management or whatever it's called now, help us out there, because in years past, now last year we didn't have it, only the second year out of 25, but in years past, or I guess the previous time, they closed the cemetery. So there was a problem with people coming to visit the cemetery who had loved ones there. So it's not going to be closed this time, but we usually get around 100 people, between 1 and 4. And if there's other people coming, if we've had in the past, we've had emergency.
So,
management.
Kurt, what is the date?
Sunday, October 3rd, from 1 to 4. And Donnie, there's a car in the parking lot there from emergency. Okay. So anyway, I've left phone messages with the building manager. We've dealt with them before about it. I talked to some of the residents there. We have signage already posted by the cemetery, special events, so.
I want to say, didn't we have issues with people parking on Kenwood, right?
Yeah, well, we've got signs up on the
Okay,
fence that
okay.
says special events.
Gotcha,
I've
okay.
called the management of the apartment building, left a message.
All right.
I've talked to some of the people there just to let them know if they would not be there, park between 1 and 5 on Sunday.
So we park outside and we walk inside, is that what happens?
Well, they're going to allow people to drive in and park too
Oh,
if they want
okay.
to, okay?
Sure.
And it may be a little crowded. They're going to have a couple people there to help us, but if emergency management could be there, if Donnie says they might be able to help out, if they can, we would sure appreciate it.
All right.
Yeah,
And
because
just to let you guys know what's going
why
on.
would you park outside if you could drive inside? It doesn't, I don't understand why
Well,
everybody.
we have the table to register. I mean, people that maybe want to go visit, they're not there for our tour. They might want to drive in.
Sure.
The people that we have, we're going to register them right near the opening gate, because the first stop is right there along the
All right.
first section.
approving this?
We just want to let you know, but we wanted to ask officially,
All right, I appreciate that, Kurt, thank you.
okay?
Thank you.
And I'm meeting with North Township. They've been very helpful, and I'm going to meet with them after I leave here.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
much.
you very much. Thanks,
Mr. Taylor?
How y'all doing, boy? I was supposed to be here last week, but I didn't make it last week because my delivery came in. So I chose to stay with the delivery instead of come here. So I talked with Kelly downstairs, 4905 Linden.
Lincoln?
Linden.
Linden, okay.
4905 Linden. So my lolly columns and everything done came in, so I supposed to came back, gave an update. So I'm giving an update that everything is in, and we'll be setting our lolly columns and stuff early next week.
Remember, Paul, we showed the photos. Kelly was here last week.
Yes.
You know, there was a bit of a frustration over what was going on. We were trying to get off the go here because it's been on the demo list.
Something
for
about a
far
rehab
long.
agreement or something, right?
We suggested a rehab agreement.
Right.
So Darren, do you have any problem with entering into a rehab agreement?
I did already.
On timeline? I know, but it expired.
Oh, yeah, I'll do it.
We need an extension, so we'll work with, Darren, just get with me and give me an email address after the meeting.
All right, okay.
Okay,
We'll work on getting it on the agenda.
Okay, okay,
all right. Anything else?
Nope.
Thank you, sir.
thanks.
Mr. Farrell?
The rental registrations that we were just dealing with, what date were those set for?
14th.
Can we please set it to the 21st? I will be out of the office that week.
Will you let her know?
Yes, yeah, I already gave her my card. We're gonna email. She's gonna send me the property management agreements and
You wanna
leases
go
for
to
the new tenants.
21st?
If we could do the 21st, I would appreciate it.
Go back, make that motion, or?
Yeah, we should.
I will send her an email correspondence advising her of the adjustment, and I
Okay.
will CC the law department on that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Then going back under old business, item C, I will make a motion to change the date from October 14th to October 21st, 2021.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone else?
You got that?
Anyone else from the public?
Yeah.
Anyone else? Once, twice?
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Thank you all.